can be out of prison a little after Christmas next year. I'm going to show you how, folks. I'm going to do the math with you. And tell me if I'm right or wrong, because I'm as confused as a lot of people. So, folks, you know who I am. I'm Spado, the accidental gangster. I realize everybody's traveling, going away for Christmas. There's my buddy Agent Orange. Always comes through. Thank you, Agent Orange. I'm confused, folks, about what the BOP, they have Diddy listed to be released on May 25th, 2028. Let's do some math, folks. He got arrested September 24th, 2024. So, for 2024, he's got 4 months. 2025, 12 months. 2026, 12 months. 2027. And then 2028, 5 months. Folks, that adds up to 45 months. Where is the other 5 months? Has the BOP messed up on their calculation? I don't know. Hi, Shanique. How are you? Shardanji, good. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And everybody else that's here. Hey, folks, you know, I want you to do me a favor, all right? If you're going to be alone for Christmas, leave me a comment. I'm going to be alone. I'm staying here by myself for Christmas this year, okay? Hey, you're right. Time served. Okay, let's do the math here. All right, so folks, please subscribe, like, share, and there's that new button, I hear it's in the comment section, where you could hype my show. Hi, Amy, how are you? Okay, let's do the math here, folks, and we're going to do it together, all right? He got 50 months, that we know. 50 months. All right, on 50 months, you get 15% for good time served. Now, I don't know if he's been penalized for what they say he was drinking and other things he's done. I don't know that for a fact. And I don't think the only ones that know that is the BOP. And trust me, the BOP does not give that kind of information out to anybody. They're probably the most closed-mouth organization in our government, okay? So 50 months, let's take 5, let's call it 3, take away 8 months, all right? That leaves 42 months. Now he's been in September, October, 16 months. Let's say 15 months, okay? So take another 15 months off. That leaves 27 months, okay? 27 months from now is what? Hi, Michael White. Poopy, how's it going with you? Grammy, great to have you come in here again. Great to see everybody here. All right? I don't know, we don't know that, Agent Orange. All right, whether he's going to get good behavior or not. We don't know that yet. And nobody's saying that. Okay? We got Madhu Schwarzenegger here. I got a lot of friends with that name. Amy, you live in Riverside. Well, we're almost neighbors. Thank you, Mimi. Merry Christmas to all of you folks. Okay? So anyway, we're down to 27 months. But from what we know and we've been told, he's taking the RDAP program, the drug program. Now, if you all remember, in Donald Trump's first presidency, he put a lot of things in there for people to get earlier release. They can go to a halfway house earlier, maybe home release, all sorts of programs out there, folks, that were not available when I was in prison. All right? But the RDAP program, he can get up to 12 months. Okay? Thank you, Samantha. You love the old timer. Keep up to date. All right? The RDAP program, he can get up to 12 months off for that. 12 months. So let's take that 12 months from the 27. Okay? That's 15 months. So he could be out 1 year earlier than what the BOP has. And maybe even a little earlier. So let's talk about that RDAP program. Now, you know, we know there was a list for it. We know Diddy wanted to take the program. We don't know if he's really into it, because the BOP hasn't said he's doing it, and they're not going to tell us. It was Diddy's current home. Diddy's current home is on the way to my sister's. I'm trying to see if I can get on the visitor log on my way back from Christmas. That would be cool, Cream. Let us all know if you get on that visitors list, okay? You know, Diddy's got to prove it. Diddy's got to submit that, okay? Mimi, I'm going to be talking about the murder of Rob Weiner and his wife. I'm going to be doing that maybe tomorrow. I'm trying to decide between that and the Epstein files. Folks, leave me a comment. What do you want to hear more about? The Epstein files? All right? You want to hear about how Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, okay, how they're lying to us about all this here? I came up with an easy, they say they want to protect the victim. Let me talk about it a minute. They say they want to protect the victim. Folks, I'm not the brightest bulb on the planet for sure, but I have common sense. You want to protect the victim? You want to protect the innocent people that are on that list that visited Charlie Epstein? Then just black out the innocent people. Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, Kash Patel, and the rest in the Department of Justice, they all know who the guilty people were. They were just like Jeffrey Epstein. They know who they are. Just show those names and go after them. You say everybody is not above the law, but you're putting people above the law. That's what they're doing. And I'm sick and tired about it. I don't know how you folks feel, okay? Damn, if my name was on that list, they'd show it. Okay? I just can't get over it. Oil ships in the war. Yeah, I think we're going to have a war with Venezuela. Everything's pointing to that too. Folks, there's so many things in the news. So please leave a comment and tell me the subjects that you would like me talking about. But let's get back to Diddy and the RDAP program. All right? For completing the Federal Residential Drug Abuse Program, RDAP, eligible nonviolent offenders can get up to 1 year off their prison sentence. Well, Diddy is a nonviolent inmate, okay? The average reduction is closer to 8 months, plus extra time for halfway house placement, all determined by when you finish the program relative to your release date. This is part of the First Step Act, FACA, time credits, which Donald Trump put into effect, allowing early release to a halfway house or supervised release for completing evidence-based recidivism reduction, EBRR program. See the other programs that he could take? Nobody's talking about these, folks. This is the first time anybody's been breaking it down to you in this manner. Everybody else on YouTube is talking, oh, they took 1 month off his thing. But they didn't realize that if you add up the months, it comes to 45. I want to know what happened to the 5. We don't know that yet. I'm confused. All right? You can earn up to 12 months. Let's say Diddy might get to 12 months. We don't know. All right? That's 15 months. Well, what's 15 months from now, folks? And I believe Diddy's going to get it. Unless he really messes up in prison. Okay? And I'm not going to buy all the rumors that I hear. I'm not going to buy the rumors that I hear other YouTube content creators saying, okay? Unless they know that warden at that prison personally, okay? And that warden probably still will not tell them, okay? So that means Diddy could be out by May 2027. 1 year earlier than they have. So that's close to Christmas time next year. You take off all the other programs, and Diddy could be out by next Christmas. Will he get out? Ooh, I don't know. But these numbers, I'm a guy that spent time in prison. I'm a guy that went through all these numbers a million times on my sentence. Mine was much easier to figure out. I got more time than Diddy had. Okay? My crime was a violent crime. So, the extra time reduced from your custody depends on how much time you have left to serve when you finish the 9 to 12 month program, which does require 500 hours. So I don't know if Diddy has begun it. I can't tell you for sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and make an assumption. I don't do that. I come here, I tell you the truth, I tell you the facts, the way I see them, the way I believe they are. All right? halfway house time. Completing RDAP also earns up to 6 months in a residential recovery halfway house before release. So, folks, Diddy does all that there. We said he could be out in May, and I said he could be out by Christmas next year. You do the math, Diddy could possibly be out by Christmas of next year. We will see. We don't know what could happen because every day things could happen in prison, all right, where he can get in more trouble or something. All right? So I wanted to share that, folks, with you folks. Now, folks, in my book, and I'm going to promote my book here, all right? Some of you don't like it, some do. My book, The Accidental Gangster. It is a best-selling book. From insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. How did I become a fixer? What is a Hollywood fixer? And what did I do for celebrities, studios, agents, lawyers, in the entertainment industry? It's all here in my book. Okay? And I want to read you, somebody wrote a beautiful thing as a comment that read my book. I finished reading your book, Ori. It took me 2.5 days to read it. I couldn't put it down. It was very interesting to me. I could have finished it in a day, but I have mommy duties. If you have not purchased this book from Ori's website or Amazon or Barnes & Noble, you are missing out on a wonderful, interesting book. Go grab one. I wish there was a part 2 to this book. My love and heart goes out to Mr. Ori. God bless him, his children, and his family. That was very awesome. And I'm going to give the lady's name, okay? Amy Hammond left that there. Amy, are you here today? I don't know. All right, Amy normally catches the replays. And so I wanted to share that with you folks. And Amy asked, is there another book coming? I will announce that in January. Possibilities, about 90% right now, that there will be 1, maybe 2 more books coming from me. One book's going to be a motivational book of what we as gangsters do in life and how it relates to the legitimate world. And you're going to find out something. Not much different. Okay? What else do I have here? Now, there's a lot of scuttlebutt about the jurors and Diddy's do, all right? How Diddy was charged by Maureen Comey. Now, you got to remember, the first one that charged Diddy was Damian Williams, who was a Democrat. He was the head of the Southern District, but he retired or left before Trump took office because he knew he would be replaced. And he was. And that became Maureen Comey. That indictment, folks, I could have wrote a better indictment. Diddy would have been in prison for 30 or 40 years because she had all the evidence. But she didn't do it right. She had drug charges. She had gun charges. You know, gun charges and drug charges hold minimum mandatory sentencing I know this very well. I had a gun charge. It was 5-year minimum mandatory. Okay? The only way to break a minimum mandatory sentence is if you become a rat, which I never would be, and not in this lifetime or any lifetime would I ever be a rat on anybody. All right? So that's the only way you break a minimum mandatory. Everybody wants to talk to Diddy. He's been an informant for a long time with the FBI. But nobody is showing any proof. Show the receipts. If you want to say something about somebody, then show the receipts. Show us the 302s. Because if he was a rat, 302s exist. I do not see one of these content creators that say Diddy's been a rat for all this time. Show any receipts. Show the 302s. That's what they're called. Nobody can show them. So was he a rat or not? I don't know. So at this point, I gotta say no. More stuff made up. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Diddy, but I don't hate Diddy. And I said that a million times to you folks, okay? And I'll say it a million more times. I don't have any hate for anybody. I might not like somebody. That's okay. We all don't like each other. Some people love me, some people hate me. I know that. I could live with that. And I'm sure Diddy could too. That all comes when you become well known. Let's go back to, somebody wanted to talk about Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner's son. You know, folks, it's a very sad thing that would happen, you know. And you know, I was up to his house. I did a video there. I show you his house. Okay, I showed you all the news camera. This will be a very big case. And Rick Reiner, his family is paying for one of the best lawyers around. Got a great lawyer. But let's talk about why he did it. We see Trump boasting about all what he's doing with pharmaceutical companies. And he's saying he's lowering our prices. Folks, did you take a look at what they're lowering the prices on? They're not prescriptions that you and I are taking. They're not the everyday script for people with diabetes, heart, okay? They're not lowering those prices. They're lowering prices on the stuff that they have on the shelf that is not selling. But, he makes a big deal out of it. How much lies can we take? Are we stupid? We're not stupid. I don't think I'm stupid. And I don't think any of you are stupid. But let's wake up, America. We're being lied to so much that it's pathetic. Now, I said earlier, and let me say it again for those who did not hear. Actually, make sure you read Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, I'll look that up, my friend. Thank you. Folks, they say they're protecting the victims and the innocent. But yet they can go through hundreds of thousands. Our Department of Justice, under Pam Bondi, they go through hundreds of thousands, and all they did was black out everything. Redacted everything almost. And what are we supposed to be, mind readers? All they have to do is black out the innocent names and black out the victims' names. And just show us the people who did criminal things to girls under age. And then Pam Bondi, go after them legally like you say you will do. Okay? But stop bullshitting us. All right? What does she think? We're dummies? Let's get real here, folks. I wanted to share that with you, folks. And, so for everybody, Epstein was no good, but he was a smart bastard. He knew how to blackmail people. And that's how he got all his money. All right? He was perverted. Okay? What's the guy's name? Acosta, all right? For that deal that they made in Florida, all right? On a state charge, the feds should have gone after him. That was a fixed deal. When you got money, you could fix things up. You can get out of prison. You could do anything when you got money. And make no mistake, Diddy still has a lot of money. People want to say he's going broke. I showed you the other day how he's not going broke. All right? All right? All right? You know who Tarek Brooks is? Well, Tarek Brooks works for Diddy. What does Tarek Brooks do? All right? Tarek Brooks is president of Diddy's company, overseeing operations and investments for Combs Global. Do you hear that word? Investments? Nobody wants to talk. He's probably got stock, bonds, and other things that he's invested in. And he's getting money from that. Getting money from his airplane. He's got money coming in from publishing. Yeah, so he's not a billionaire. They're saying he's only worth $400 million. Let's say he's not worth $400 million. Let's say he's only worth $200 million. How many of you have $200 million? I'd like to be broke and only have $200 million. Trust me. My God, I'd like to be broke and have $2 million. All right, so folks, look at it. Leave me a comment. What subject you want me to talk about tomorrow or the next day? All right, we're going to be into Christmas Eve, okay? Also, let me know, all right, if you want me to do a show on Christmas, and maybe, you know what I'm thinking of doing for New Year's? I'm thinking of doing a New Year's show where I don't do the talking. We will spend New Year's Eve together and folks, you could ask me any questions you want. Any. And if there's a question that I cannot answer or will not answer, I'll politely let you know that. But why don't we do something like that there? What do you think? Okay, because a lot of you people, I have questions you don't know about me, but you're interested in and want to ask. All right? And I'll open myself up the best I can. What do you think, folks? So let me know on that there. Please leave that comment. All right, everybody. Okay, you know what? It's lunchtime. I had no breakfast today. We got partially sun. Next few days, folks. Okay? We got rain here in California. All right? Mimi, thank you so much. You made me thank me for the research I do. I got a lot of thoughts on the Reiner situation that I want to talk to you about. What made this young man, a 32 years old, Rick Weiner, take his mother and father's life in a manner he did. Okay? So maybe tomorrow I made some notes and do more research and studying on it. Okay? Some words I can't even say, pronounce. Okay? But maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So folks, have a wonderful, blessed day. If you're traveling, be safe. As usual, all my love and respect to all of you. Thank you. God bless.